Hey everyone, it's Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and you're watching another installment of my DoorDash daily recap video. Every offer, every delivery, every adventure. Let's break it all down right now. Happy Friday, everyone. This is the recap for Friday, May 17th. And before I get to the orders from today, just some channel scheduling news here. I'm pleased to announce I did hit 250 subscribers today. So appreciate it very much. So my video on the 250 subscribers, now I'll upload that and it'll be released tomorrow morning. So check that out. Sunday is going to be my first impression / initial review type of video for Uber Eats, the driver app. And then I should have time between now and Sunday to finalize, get everything together for part one of it's going to be a 3-part series on shop and pay orders, and with just some different things to keep in mind, things to know, that type of thing. Not really like a full tutorial or anything like that. Just a couple little tips, tricks, strategies. And I hope to have that released Monday, hopefully. Now to today's dash. The subject of the video, how I was hoodwinked. I'll have the timestamp in the description if you want to jump straight to that. And I'll get to that story. Another 3 straight days in a row that were rough. So today, today I get was either like a loss or a tie. I mean, I didn't win today, but it felt like a loss, but at the same time I made goal. So I don't know. It's just a bad week overall. I mean, anyway, I logged in this morning at 5:46 in the morning, got an offer right away, $5, 4.5 mile McDonald's. Went ahead and took it. Pretty straightforward 1, 2, 3 type of order to get me started. And then soon after delivering that, I get a decline. 11:50 IHOP going over 16 miles east of downtown. No thanks. I'm kind of like wanting to pick up my acceptance rate if I can, but I'm not like that desperate. Another decline came just 2 minutes later. 575, 10 miles. This wouldn't be bad if I been on that side of my zone. It wouldn't have been a bad order, but I'm sitting at Meyer, and to have to track all the way across zone and for this, so I declined it. And then next was a Chick-fil-A order. So, and how long did I wait here? I waited like 15 minutes. And at this point I decided, well, I'm not getting anything else. I guess I'm going to Stringtown Road, I guess. So I know the mileage is upside down. I mean, like 3 of the miles is getting to Chick-fil-A. I picked this up. It delivers to an apartment complex that I've talked about in past videos. I don't really like going to this complex, and I joke around how I always go to the back of the complex. Why can't a customer from the front ever place an order? And lo and behold, this order right here delivered to the front of the complex. I was in total shock when I pulled in and seen that I wasn't going to have to drive to the back. I couldn't believe it. The one little break I got today out of all these orders. Pay screen $4 and $3.50 tip. So I had this done in, what is this, 27 minutes. So you might as well say $7.50 for a half hour's worth of work. Just not too good of an order there at all. Next, I get a $7, 8 mile Jolly Pie. I went ahead and took this. Again, I'm trying to, pick my acceptance rate up if I can. And get the Jolly Pirate. It's a dozen donuts and a drink. Goes out to South High Street to a dentist office. Now, and what kind of makes this, I guess, a little bit better is, and here's the pay screen on that, $2 from DoorDash, $5 tip. And so what happened was, as soon as I dropped that off, just a minute later, I get another South Zone order. So, while I'm in that area, I get a quick little banger 2 mile order for $5.50. So this will help me out on the mileage before I head back to Zone. So sweet. I'm just down the street from the Bob Evans. I go in there, the order was ready. This delivered to a gas station just on the other side of the outer belt, which I was wanting to get on the outer belt to come back to Zone. This customer was on the other side. This was the only kind of bad thing about this. There was no way, this was rush traffic. So there was no way I was making a left-hand turn out of that gas station. So I had to turn right, and I had to take an alternate route back to Zone, which, was really, I guess, not a huge deal, but it's the only little drawback about this order. And then next was, and I'm still I'm heading towards the mire, and I'm still a few miles away from it. I'm not close to the mire yet when I get this, you might as well say $21, 14-mile mire, 12 items. So yeah, let's do this. This will probably, keep me busy for about the next hour, close to it, and I'll make $21. Sweet. So I head to Meijer at this position right here. I'm probably still about 4 miles from the Meijer, something like that. Head to Meijer. Here's the list. And I took a look at this list and I was like, holy smokes, folks. Talk about the sugar rush attack here. Look at this. We got it's all just two different types of things, 12 packs of pop, and none of these are diet. This is all sugar. And it was because some of this is cut off here. I think it was 6 pints of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And I tell you what, I saw this list and I was like, man, had I had been one of these unscrupulous dashers that takes an order and then, picks it up or whatever, shops it, and then drops the order and keeps it for themselves. Had I been somebody like this and kept this order for myself, instant emergency room visit for me. I mean, no doubt about it. With this order right here, if I would have tried to tackle this for myself and eat some of this, emergency room straight up. My gosh, man. And what's cool about it is only just 2 aisles of the store, just the one case in the freezer section of Ben & Jerry's, and then the pop aisle. That's all I got to go to. Here's the shopping time. I don't know why the suggested time was 24 minutes on something like this, but I had it shopped in 5.5. Like I said, I only had to go 2 places. And is it on this list here? No, this particular Ben and Jerry's is cut off from this screenshot, but one of them that I got was supposed to be like whiskey flavored, which I never heard of before, but that's kind of unusual. Uh, those topped Ben and Jerry's, those are I used to like those when I could eat stuff like that. Those were good. So I dropped this off, and there you see 12.50 from DoorDash, 8.39 tip, and this took 43 minutes. The only kind of problem is I ran into some traffic going back to zone, so I didn't make really good time getting back to zone. It took me 20 minutes. So but still, so 43 minutes from the offer to the delivery, 20 minutes to get home. So an hour, I made 20 bucks. You know, that's pretty good in my book. Next was a decline, $7, 7.7 mile. Yeah, I'd already made a couple deliveries out to South High Street. So get some South Zone drivers on these orders. Where are they at? Hello, South Zone. Where are your drivers at? Decline. 925, 11 miles, Chick-fil-A. Going to the kind of like near the racetrack again, Route 23, South High Street. Again, I don't know what's going on here, but this was a decline. I get a Dollar General. I went ahead and took this, and I seen that. Okay, so $8.75, 11 miles. But look at the picture here and look at the routing. I'm heading south in this picture. I'm heading in the direction of Dollar General. And why is this having me on this map here? The routing is going to have me go further south and then in the wrong direction away from the customer. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't 11 miles here. So I think what was going on here is this is at 8:52, and Stringtown Road was probably hadn't really cleared out yet. And so this was having me go further south to jump on the interstate to get to the customer. That's why, I think. But I wasn't going to go this route right here. By the time I shopped this, got out of the store, got over to that area, it's going to be past 9 o'clock. I don't foresee traffic being an issue. Here's my one item, a pack of toilet paper. This is a first. I've never had a delivery for just toilet paper before, but there you go. Costing $5. And as I suspected, I just traveled down from the Dollar General, hit Stringtown Road, took that all the way down. This was actually, I've got it in my notes here. I was 2 miles away from the Dollar General. And then it was from there to the customer, it was 4 miles. So all total, this was 6 miles. 6 miles for, what was that pay again? 6 miles for $8.75, not 11. And then here is the pay on this. It's so funny. Like I'm getting $7.75 from DoorDash to deliver an item that costs $5. And I forgot to get my dollar out of here. I always forget to get these out of the drawer before starting these videos. The tip from the customer, there you go, $1. There's my dollar right there. There it is. Thank you very much. And next, this was a decline. Believe it or not, I was tempted to take this. I just for like a half of a second, I was tempted, but I was going the wrong direction, and I would have to turn the car around in busy traffic to go back the other way to get to Sonic and mess with all that for $3. It's drive through only. So if there was like two or three other cars there in the line, you kind of run the risk of that happening. So I came to my senses after like a half of a second, and I declined this. Then I come home for break at this point. This is like my slow part of the day. And my plan for break, which did not end up going too well, was I was going to go to the bathroom first. And I really wanted a break today. I was kind of getting a headache from the dash to this point, and I needed a break, and I was going to get something to eat. So my plan was to go to the bathroom first, maybe walk the dog. I didn't think I'd get any offers, and then do my pause, and then eat and whatever all else I wanted to do. And the strategy there was, so then I'd get like maybe a 40 or 45-minute break instead of 35. Well, I go to the bathroom, and I'm just finishing up out of there and walking out of the bathroom when I get the order that's the subject for today's video. This $18 Giant Eagle, only 5 miles, and it's a pickup. And you guys see that on this screen, right? So retail pickup, 2 orders, 37 items. So I'm like, well, okay, I was going to, take a break, but hey, this looks like this is pretty easy right here. I'll just go to Giant Eagle, and I don't even have to shop this. Just pull into the pickup area, and I'm like 2.5, 3 miles from Giant Eagle. So I only got these customers are only like 2 miles away from the store. So I'll go ahead and do this, and probably still have time for a break after that. And DoorDash got me. I got hoodwinked. So I get to the store. I was like really burning up over this. I was like starting to get fuming mad here. So I get to the parking spot, go to my next screen, and it's listed in here twice on this screen. You will need to shop for the items. I'm like, wait a minute here. And then I see the 17 items. Wait a minute here. And then I'm going back to the screenshot I previously took. No, wait a minute. That says pickup. And I'm trying to figure this out. I hit my top left-hand corner. I hit the little, the hamburger icon, and look at my stops again. One of the two was a shopping order. You had one shopping order and one pickup. It's like, thanks a lot. Thanks a freaking lot, DoorDash. I've had this before, at least once before, maybe twice, but there was one time where my wife was dashing with me. Similar situation. I got a Giant Eagle where one was a shop, one was a pickup. But on my offer screen, it clearly showed that. Giant Eagle was listed twice. It said, at the top, Giant Eagle shop. Below that, Giant Eagle pickup. Show, 2 customers. Everything was right there on that offer screen. And for whatever reason on this offer, today they decide to hoodwink me and make me think that both of them were pickups. Like I said, I was like, I don't know. I was like pretty furious. I reparked the car. I stormed into the store, and I thought about dropping it, but I'm like, well, no. I mean, maybe this won't take all that long. I don't know. Maybe this might only take 45 minutes or so and it won't be so bad. But no, this was a fairly difficult shop. I had to ask about, there was something in here, this snack that had wasabi peas in it. And I didn't see it. I had to ask one associate who asked a second associate who asked a third associate. And the third associate took me over to where I was before looking for it. And he looked as well, didn't find it, but he found a substitute that was listed in the customer substitution. So that worked out. And there was just some other tricky items, some kind of like, it wasn't like Little Debbie's, but it was another brand of like these lemon pies. That had to be substituted. That might be on this screenshot here. Yeah, that's on this screenshot. These, JJ's Bakery, never heard of it before. Those I substituted with the Entenmann's, Devil Food Donuts. And there was some pastas from the deli. There stuff from kind of like all over the grocery section actually. And you see here, this took me over 18 and a half minutes. I mean, still shopped it in less than the recommended, but it was tricky. 14 different items. And then and I think I dropped that order off first. The other one was, like I said, was a pickup. So after I shopped this, I went around to the pickup area, started having a bad signal with my phone. I couldn't even pull up that second customer's name when the associate came out with the order, and it didn't ask me to verify the name or anything. They must only have that one DoorDash order. So I start loading it into the car, I wasn't 100% sure that was the right order or not, but I loaded it into the car anyway. Have to drive away to get my signal. And the W-2 calls, right as I'm pulling into the first customer. So I'm trying to talk to the W-2 and make this delivery at the same time. Okay. Now it's off to customer B, who customer B hoodwinks me. Now, like, what is the odds of that, to get like hoodwinked by DoorDash and the customer both on the same frickin' order? I mean, what are the odds of that? You kidding me here? I go to customer B. And here's the instructions. Leave at the door. Apartment D is inside the building upstairs. Extra cash tip at the door. Notice it says extra. So there's an extra cash tip at the door. I've seen this before. I've been down this road before. More often than not, you'll see that in a customer instructions, but it's old instructions. You get to the door and there's no tip there. But, you see something like this as a dasher, you still remain hopeful that it's not old instructions. Okay, so I go in the building, I walk up the very dirty stairs, smelly hallway up to the second floor, and here's the door. Guys, do you see a cash tip sitting around anywhere outside this door? Because I don't see it. So hoodwinked again, second time in one order. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So here's the pay screen. I mean, the customer did tip $5. Is $8 from DoorDash, and each customer tipped $5. I mean, but still, very frustrating order. And this took, I could have used that extra cash tip on this, because this start to finish, it took me 54 minutes on this. And so you might as well say an hour, and I only made $18. So this was a small, little, tiny disaster here of an order. Like I said, this took 54 minutes, and after this order, I was at $54. So that was kind of ironic. Next, 5 minutes later, 1350, 9 Mile, Meyer, 22 items. I shouldn't have took this. But I guess I was hoping for multiples. And again, I know I sound like a broken record in this recap, but I was trying to pick up the acceptance rate if I could. Stupid me. So I took it. Get to Meyer. And right off the bat here, I mean, I don't know if it's just me or maybe other Dashers hate this as well, but I hate when I see steaks in an order. I can't stand it. And here in this order, it's like a triple whammy. You got 3 different kinds of steaks. Like hardly ever will I see the description of a steak like in the app, and then when I go to look at the steaks, I see that exact same description on a packaging. It's never a word for word match. It's always a guessing game. I like steaks just as much as the next person does, but I'm not a steak aficionado or an expert or anything along those lines. So I don't really know a whole lot of difference between like beef top sirloin and Angus beef top sirloin. I mean, I don't know the difference. I mean, and I have to like pick up different steaks and just kind of guess, like scan guess. Like one of I think it was this pork shoulder one, the blade steak. Okay, I have no idea what this is, folks. And I don't see it. I mark it as unavailable. The customer sends me a message, just get any steak that he said in the message to me, is get like any steak that was for 2 people. I just got some, larger size. It was just one steak, but it was a larger size bone-in steak, and I substituted that and went with it. I mean, I don't know here. And there was some produce here. There was vegetables that I had to bag up and weigh and print labels. And how long did this take me anyway? Jeez, 22 minutes for that. And you see in this screenshot, a couple things from HBC as well, and even cat food. This took me 22 minutes. And then they had a recommended 40 on this one too. I mean, the system knew this was going to be a tricky order. Go to deliver that, and I get a $2 tip out of that. Unreal. And again, let's see here. Again, an order that takes like close to an hour. This one took 55 minutes, and I made $13. So I gambled and lost severely on this order. And going to the, Gateway Lakes apartments. I delivered there twice today. That, janky complex. And then that was it. That was my last delivery. Then I get a string of declines. And look at the time here. I'm at 11:31. I probably should have paused it to get out of that area. But folks, if you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you know what time it is here. It's time for the rush of bad Stringtown lunchtime orders. Here we go with decline number one. $8.50 for 2 orders going 13 miles. Okay. Dairy Queen and Bibby Bop to Obet's and Groveport. Okay, this might as well be China and Japan here. No thanks. Unreal. I still don't pause it. Thanks for this offer. $7.50, 8.5 miles. This isn't as bad. I maybe could have took this one, but I don't know. This is, I see much worse at this time in this area than this offer right here. But I decline that. Look at this. 50 cents a mile, baby. $3.25, 7.5 mile. Going to that busy sports park. IHOP. No thanks. Mr. or Mrs. Customer, I hope your pancakes got cold. I really do. Unreal. And then I pause it. I finally pause it and decide to get, I pause it for about 3 minutes to get a couple more miles away from that area. But I still got another Stringtown order anyway. 10.50, 12 mile. Genji Go. I just don't want to go to Obet's right now. I'm tired. I've already been driving out of zone. Oh, just crazy. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I apologize. I did take one more order. Okay, so I had those declines. I'm heading in the direction of Meyer. I apologize. There was one last order. This one right here. I'm like, okay, this doesn't look too bad. $14, 9 miles, 12 items. I'm just going to do this one order here. This will put me at like $100 exactly. And let's go ahead and shut this off and we'll live to dash another day. So I get to Meyer. I get pretty lucky on this. This is like all multiples except for 3 of the items. But everything else is a multiple. But look at the top of the list there. 4 24 packs. Thank you very much. So here's the time. This only took me not even 8 minutes out of a recommended 14. So I did this pretty quickly. Those pizzas had to be substituted. And the customer had real good instruction. I like when the customers do this. It's real helpful. Let me look at that previous screen again. Where's the item? It was the next to last item, the Little Debbie peanut butter cream pies. I never heard of those before, but they're right on the screen. When I was looking for that item, there was one of those notes from the customer. If you don't see the item, just refund it. Boom. Thank you very much. Takes all the substitution guessing game out of this. Takes, having to contact the customer. All that takes out of the equation. They made it easy for me. If it's not there, refund it. Thank you very much, Mr. Customer. I'll do that. Like I said, shopped everything in 8 minutes. Here's my grocery cart. Look at that. Look at the 500-pound shopping cart that I'm manhandling up to the front, and all that pop and it was 5 pizzas and then the Oreos and the milk. Go and deliver this at 12:17. I didn't add up a time for this. So what was it? So the offer came in. I probably didn't put the time down because I didn't care, I just wanted to do this one order, $14 and be done. So that's why I didn't put the time in. Offer came in at 11:38. I delivered it at 12:17. So that's, what is that? 22:39 minutes. And I made $14 in 39 minutes. It's just okay. It's just okay pay. $9, $5 tip for the $14. And I get to log off. Praise the Lord. Man. It was a 6-hour, 31-minute dash active. You see here 4 hours, 49 minutes. So I stayed pretty busy. I mean, only a little over an hour and a half of downtime. 10 deliveries, $100. So there you go. Went over on miles, 109 miles. Probably, I want to say it was probably about 6 of those miles was after the last drop off. Is about 6 miles back to get something to eat and get home. No, actually more than that. It's more like 8. So yeah, that's where all that going over on miles. It was the last like 8 to 9 miles of just getting back home is how I went over. Now at 3,083 lifetime DoorDash deliveries, and my acceptance rate down. Started at 58% and finished with 55%, which means Tuesday, we'll see here, but I don't know, may get off to kind of like a bad start on Tuesday. We'll see with that 55%. But anyway, that is it for this recap. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, drive safe out there. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my other videos. A lot of good stuff, a lot of information for all things DoorDash. And we will see you at the next video. Thanks again for watching.